Hey, what's up, guys? Pokesmash TV here again, and today I have another Wi-Fi battle for you. It's a UU battle this time again, and it's against a person called Lineriderzero. When we had this match, he actually agreed to upload his own version of it as well. So when that comes out, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Go check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel where he uploads Pokemon Wi-Fi battles as well. But it is in Italian, so if you're so inclined to check that out, go ahead. I'll leave the link in the description below. Let's talk about the team for a second. I'll tell you about my team. My team is almost fully offensive. The only defensive Pokemon is a Suicune and maybe a bit the Azumarill because it has max HP as most Azumarills carry. Otherwise, my team is hyper offensive. I have the Scarf Damanitan, the Specs Porygon Z, the Scarf Raikou, and the Bandit Azumarill. So it should be a pretty good match, and it is actually. So look ahead for the match, guys. Okay, now he leads off with his Claydol, which was quite a obvious lead because it obviously has the Stealth Rocks. And I lead off with my Damanitan, which is Scarf, so I can take anything and just U-turn out of there. I could have Flare Blitzed also, but which would have done more than the U-turn if you do the damage calcs. But I don't want my Damanitan to be at low HP or mid-range HP so early in the match. So I just U-turn it. It does 40%. So his Claydol is probably invested a bit in defense. He sets up the rocks. I go to my doped, my specs PZ, and I go for the Ice Beam here. Actually, he goes out into his Cofagrigus, probably predicting a normal type move. But I go for the Ice Beam. It does more than half specs. Ice Beam does quite a lot of damage to the Cofagrigus, and I get the freeze, which is epic for me. But his Cofagrigus has now been rendered useless for the rest of the match, and actually, I had a lot of leeway to play around with this in the match, but I ended up over predicting a lot. So this doesn't actually play that much of a difference. It does for him though. But over here, I predict him to go out into Suicune to predict another Ice Beam. So I go into my Raikou to threaten out the Suicune. But he actually stays in. He's probably going to sack the Cofagrigus now because it can't do anything unless it thaws out first turn. Or perhaps he's trying for the first turn thaw. So I go for the obvious Volt Switch. I see that he had two ground type Pokemon on his team, the Nidoking and the Claydol. But I didn't want to over predict so early in the match, so I just went for the Volt Switch. The problem is he switches in a Nidoking onto my Volt Switch, is immune to it, and now he can threaten any of my Pokemon with the Earth Power. So I go to my Azumarill, which has max HP, so I'm pretty sure I can take one Earth Power and then I can threaten it out with the Aqua Jet. The switch into Suicune is incredibly obvious, so instead of going for the Aqua Jet, I go right for the Super Power. And Bandit Super Power is going to demolish the Suicune because as you'll see, it does 70% to the Suicune. Right here, I know that base stats differ, so any Suicune can outspeed my Azumarill, which doesn't have any speed investment. I think it has 4 EVs in speed, but that's all. So I know he can outspeed, and I don't want to die so early in the match. So I switch out into my Raikou to threaten on the Suicune with an electric type attack. He ends up going for the HP electric, so that's great because it does virtually nothing to my Raikou. Right now, the switch into another ground type Pokemon is incredibly obvious, but I do not want to over predict yet again. So I go for the electric type move. He goes into his Claydol. I go for the Volt Switch, and obviously he's immune to it. Right now, I switch out into my Porygon Z again because again I can probably threaten it out with the Ice Beam again. I said again way too many times in those last 10 seconds, but please overlook that. He goes for the Toxic on my incoming Porygon Z. I avoid that, thankfully. There's been a lot of hacks in this match, in hindsight, on my part actually, because I've been getting a lot of hacks from this guy. So I go for the T-Bolt because his Claydol is not going to stay for Ice Beam. I predict his Suicune to come in, but he ends up going into his Cofagrigus again, and probably his Death Fodder. Now I switch out predicting either his Claydol or his Nidoking to come in, but he just stays in. So as you can see, I'm over predicting a hell of a lot in this match. So which was really unnecessary because I could have finished this Cofagrigus off much earlier, and now it's a bit of a brain fart moment for me because I forget that he resists the Bug type moves, the U-turn. So I go for it, and he also has base 140 defense, so that does like 10 HP damage, I guess. So I go right into my Azumarill to hit him with the waterfall or anything we want, because I know Azumarill outspeeds Cofagrigus, because I think Cofagrigus has around base 30 speed and Azumarill has base 50. Both are way low, but Azumarill outspeeds Cofagrigus. So I go for the waterfall. Bad part is that I get the mummy ability, so my huge power is gone, and I'm left with 218 attack or something like that, something in that range. He goes into his Bishop, and I do not want him to set up a substitute, so I stay and I go for the waterfall again. But he obviously outspeed. He goes for the brick break, and I die. So I don't regret that, because if he had got the substitute, I would have been screwed royally. But over here, you're gonna see I gave my Porygon Z some steroids before the match. And you're gonna see where this comes in, because he goes for the Sucker Punch, doesn't kill me. I go for the adaptability booster, Choice Specs booster, steroid boosted Hyper Beam, and it takes the Bishop out. That is a resisted hit, remember guys, it's a resisted hit, and it does 100% to the Bishop. And right now he makes a really weird play. I think he thought that Suicune, a +1 special defensive Suicune, could live a steroid boosted Hyper Beam from a Porygon Z. Well, he was wrong, because right now he wastes my turn of recharge. He could have easily killed me with anything, a Scald perhaps, but he goes for the Calm Man instead. I go for the Hyper Beam again, a Hyper Beam, a Specs Hyper Beam. Oh god, it's so overpowered, base 150 power, plus Stab, don't forget Stab, never forget Stab. I go for the Hyper Beam, the Suicune dies. Right now he just kills me off with the Sludge Wave, because I have to recharge. So my Porygon Z did quite a lot of work. It took out his Cofagrigus, it took out his almost took out his Cofagrigus, took out his Bishop, took out his Suicune. So right now the only things he has left are his Claydol, his Nidoking, and his Machamp. So I go to my Ambipom, I hit him with a Fake Out. It does a hell of a lot of damage. It does more than 50%. Technician boosted Ambipom is really overpowered, guys. It rocks. Then he sends in his Claydol. I go for the double hit right now, and more hacks comes my way. I get a critical hit with the first double hit. The first hit of the double hit. First double hit, yes. And then I hit him again. I don't think the crit really mattered, because I would have outspeed him on the next turn and hit him again, as I do now. Or maybe it did matter. Min-max damage variations here, guys. But what could he have done to me? I don't know. Maybe if he had the Earth Power, he could have killed me. But then I could have revenge killed him with something else. I have 2 Scarfers on my team. Anyway, I kill his Claydol. He sends in his Machamp right now. I outspeed the Machamp. I go for the double hit. I stayed in because if you're a Scarf, I would have died, but at least I would have known he was Scarf, right? So I can go to one of my Scarfers to kill him off. But he's not Scarf, so I go for the double hit. He goes down to about 75%. He hits me with the overpowered Dynamic Punch with no guard. It doesn't actually affect the power, but the accuracy. And he takes me out. No way I was going to live that, but yeah. Then I go right into my Raikou right here, because I have the hidden power which I can threaten him with, because I know the only Pokemon he has left right now are his Nidoking and this Machamp. So with the hidden power, which will probably hit them both, I can probably go for that. I think it's HP Ice, but as you can see when I use it here, it's not super effective on the Nidoking, so it's obviously not HP Ice. So I've obviously missed this Raikou, and but no problem with the Nidoking, because I can just go for the hidden power again and take it out. But as you'll see on the next turn, I'm going a bit ahead of myself, but as you'll see on the next turn over here, when I hit the Machamp with the same hidden power, it's not very effective, so it's probably hidden power Dark, which is the default hidden power when you have 31 IVs in each stat. So I probably forgot to change the IVs with my on my Raikou. So I guess by default it had hidden power Dark. I should change it probably in the future to hidden power Ice. But anyways, he kills me off with a Dynamic Punch. Right now I'm free to go to my Darmanitan and take him out with a Flare Blitz. It's funny actually, because every UU game I've been having lately has been ended up being finished by my Darmanitan with a Flare Blitz. So that's quite funny actually. It shows you the raw power of the Darmanitan, survivability and raw power. Yes. Anyway, his Machamp faints, and that's the match, guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Comment, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Leave a comment, tell me what I could have done better, etc, etc. Go check out Lineriders0's channel. I'll put it in the description below. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you next time.